Alright, what's up guys, and today we got something a little different today. I asked my viewers to send me in their matches, and basically what I'm going to do is coach them through the videos that they sent me through. So, I'm going to be going over what they did wrong, what they did right, what they could have done better, etc. And I'm so sorry for whoever sent me this. I got so many more of these than I thought I would, and I lost count because I downloaded all of these. I forgot to name them. So, if this is your video, please comment down in the comments below, and I'll pin your comment. Just that way you can, I don't know. That way we know who the hell's video this actually is. So I do apologize for that, but let's get right into this and see how this guy does here. So starting off at a queen's table, this guy has 2 table cards. Opts to tell the truth in the beginning here. And always try to have a game plan for your round. Your game plan is always going to change as you see what your opponents throw down. Like, for example, you got to keep note that, okay, this guy threw down 2. I have 2. This guy threw down 2. So in between us all, there's allegedly 6 table cards out on the field. Just little things like that. Just always keep in the back of your head. And you played a little fast right there, which isn't too bad. Now, I'm guilty of that too. Always try to give yourself like 5 seconds, okay? It's a good rule of thumb. I'm pretty guilty with it too. Sometimes I like to throw them down real quick. I think it's always beneficial. Basically make it a point, even if you know what move you're going to make, always give yourself 5 seconds. So at the 25-second mark on the timer at the top, that's when I want you guys to start throwing down your cards. Or, you know, past that even. But never throw them down right away. I think you should always give yourself some time to think. But right off the rip, we're doing good. All he did was tell the truth twice, so can't really complain too much about that. So we have 2 table cards. The guy across from us threw down 2. The guy to the right threw down 1. That's 5 table cards allegedly in play here. Nothing too crazy. Doing a lot of chatting in the lower left-hand corner. And then another... So keep in mind that a lot of the board right now is throwing down 2 cards at a time. So use that to your advantage. You know, if everyone's throwing down multiple cards, you go ahead and just start playing slower, right? And also, if there's a time where you know that this guy may have told the truth, say you have maybe we'll do this as an example. Say you have him lying on those 2 cards, like, oh, he's probably lying. He probably really does have 3 cards based on what these guys are playing. Maybe you know, you gotta just kind of be aware of what the players are doing. So let's say that you think this guy always throws down multiple cards when he has maybe 2 or 3 table cards. Same with this person. You notice that these people are playing 1 card at a time all of a sudden in one round, and this guy throws down the 2. You can kind of put in your head like, okay, these guys probably are lacking table cards. I only have 1 or 2 myself, and this guy just threw down 3. Maybe he is actually playing that 3. So I'm not going to call him out on the 2. Well, you can't call him out, but I'm going to take note that he just threw down the 2. And now, next turn, he's probably going to lay down that 3 table cards. If you're in a position where you know what your opponent's going to do to the right of you, and you know he's not going to, he's not in a bad spot, and he's just going to lay down his table cards, take advantage of that and start lying this turn. So you know he's going to lay down these cards. So go ahead and throw down 3 table cards that are all lies. You know, get rid of your lie cards when you know that the opponent to your right of you isn't going to call you out. I'm not saying that this was a position that could have happened, but there are times where you kind of get a good idea, like, okay, the guy to the right of me, he's gonna be lying. So that's your, or not lying, but he's gonna be throwing down his last cards. That's your opportunity to lie. So good call out right here. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Let's go back. I mean, obviously you got it wrong, but I don't think there was anything wrong with that call out. You had no table cards in your hand. It was getting towards the end of the hand here. In hindsight, maybe if you threw down a lie card, he might have let it slide and throw down a card, but more than likely that wasn't going to happen. I think you made the best play you could right there. But now that this happened, keep in mind, you know, don't let this happen more than once, basically, or, you know, maybe more than twice. So keep playing how you're playing, but if you keep getting caught out towards the end of your matches like this, or the end of the rounds, you're going to have to start sneaking in more lies in the beginning, right? But I don't think that was a bad call out. It's just now you got to adjust to the play. So let's move on to an aces table here. see what we got. Sorry, yeah, sorry about that if that was annoying. So you're gonna start off with a lie here. I think you only had one table card. Oh, and this is Eren, by the way. That's who this is. Sorry about that, Eren. I do know who sent me this now. My bad. So we're counting up the table cards. You have one. He threw down one. He has two. Now you're in a pretty sticky situation here. I want to stop it. I don't know what you do this move. I actually didn't watch this beforehand. Okay, so we don't even need to play around. That's a good example of why stalling can always be beneficial, especially if you have a bad hand. Throwing that lie in the beginning, it was good. So far, this guy's playing a pretty good game. I don't really have anything too bad to say. The one tip I have to give you is just to slow down your hands. Because also what that does, say you throw down your cards right away and you're telling the truth, and maybe the guy calls you out, he's like, oh shit. Now when you take that second to think, they're going to think that you're lying, and it limits you. Now it's like, shit, they're going to think I'm lying, and I want to lie in this turn, but now I can't lie because now I stopped too long and thought about it, and now they know I'm going to lie, so it kind of plays against you. That's why it's always good just to take a default amount of time, if not longer. So let's see how he plays this hand. So far, he's only played one card at a time, which I don't think there's anything wrong with. Okay, I like the 2-play here, because now we have one more table card left, and it always looks a little fishy to your opponent when you throw down multiple cards and then start playing one card at a time. But it does get you stuck, because now you're in a position where it's like, okay, I threw out 2 cards as a bait. I have one more card left as a kind of like a safety card, and it's also to bait the guy to your right. But now, if those two don't work, you're pretty much screwed, and you are going to get called out. Or you're going to have to force a call out to the guy to your left. So let's see if he takes the bait. Doesn't take the bait, so now we're in a bad position. But you timed it correctly, because if you could see, the guy to the left of you only has 2 table cards. So that's probably going to work to your advantage. More than likely, what's going to happen here is that the bunny's going to call out the dog, and if the bunny wants to throw down one of his cards, it's more than likely going to be a lie, giving you that easy call out. So you're in a pretty good position here. So let's see. He's going to call him out. Yep. And more than likely going to get it. Oh, doesn't get it. Doesn't get it. So this is what I was talking about in the beginning here. You're going to have to start adjusting to this. So now you're noticing that the guy to the left of you, when you get into the end game, you've seen this twice now, okay? It wasn't a bad play, but now moving forward, if you get caught like that, it is going to be considered a bad play. Because what you need to do now is adjust to your opponent. Your opponent is lying in the beginning somewhere and saving his table cards towards the end. So you need to do the same or start calling them out really early on in the matches, maybe round 1 or 2. But if you don't do that, you're going to get stuck. So you got to, if you're not going to call them out, you got to save at least 1 card towards the end of the rounds. That way, when you're in that position, you're not going to get caught in a corner, basically. So let's see if you do adjust. So right here, I don't like the 2-play now because you aren't lying, for one. If you lied here, great play, but you didn't learn from what your opponent just did to you, because he's done it to you twice now. You know, what's the saying? Like, do it to me once, shame on you. Do it to me twice, shame on me, right? You should be catching on to what this guy's doing, and you're not. So I want you to save your cards this time, which you're not, obviously. That way you can have a backup for when you do get to the end game, and you're not forced to call out the guy to the left of you, who you know is saving a card towards the end. So let's see what happens here. So there's your last table card. Okay, there we go. So you didn't have, you didn't get put in the position where you were screwed over by the guy to your left. Stalling happened to work this time, and you've baited out Jaeger a couple times now. So you should also be picking up the fact that this guy isn't calling out your 2 cards. So maybe this turn you want to play like 1 or 2, or play 1 single card, and then the next round do a single card, then start lying on your doubles after that. Don't make it too obvious. Don't like keep on throwing 2 cards down, or else he will call you out. Put some single cards in between. This is a pretty bad position you're in though. But look, what did we just learn from this guy to the left of us? He's been saving his table cards towards the end of the round. So now is your opportunity to call him out right away, the first round, or you wait one turn and then call him out, right? Throw down that one table card, call him out round 2. So round 1 or round 2, you want to call this guy out. There, you did it round 1. Look at that. See how that works, man? So you did that. Good play. I don't think you were understanding of why you did that right there. I think you just called him because you were in a bad position. So hopefully me explaining what just happened there, you'll be able to make those plays better. You'll be able to artificially make that play instead of it just so happened to come out like that. This is my first time watching your match, by the way, so I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen here. So what do we get? 2 table cards here? Okay, 2 table cards. Got it left, you threw down 2 as well. You haven't stuck in any lies yet. Don't do the 2. Don't do the 2. I wouldn't do it. When in doubt, just play your 1 safe card. Okay. Unless you're going to, risk it and do 2 and then 3 if you think you can get away with it. I almost want to watch that back real quick. We'll let it ride. Okay. So now you know they threw those 2s he threw last round. They were table cards. I want you to notice that. Keep that in the back of your head. How they're playing. He's still saving his cards till the end, or towards the end of the rounds. Use that to your advantage. Also, notice that Jaeger has been throwing down multiple cards per turn. That's your cue to feel safer about him not calling you out as a liar, right? The people that like to throw down multiple cards every single turn are usually trying to set up their own little 50-50 strategies, right? So use that to your advantage and start lying in the beginning of your turns against people like that. Don't go crazy and start throwing 3 every round, but every now and again sneak in 2 cards that are liars, right? Knowing that he's going to throw down at least 2 cards or 3. So we got a bad hand here, but we got to keep in mind this guy's going to lie on his first, second turn more than likely. Possibly third. So since we already called him out once, probably my best play that I could think of is lie, because this guy hasn't been calling you out either. So throw down 1 lie card. Throw down a truth card, and then call him out, right? Or even just throw down honestly, throw down your truth card, wait 1 round, call him out second turn. Let's see if you call him out first turn. Okay, quick play, that's fine. The rabbit threw down 2. Honestly, you might... Nah, I don't think you're going to get this. Honestly, you probably wanted to call out that double play. If you're going to call him out, you probably should have done that too. I mean, this is just a guessing game. It's not really much of a tip there I could give you. It is a guessing game. But look at that. You got it right anyway, so what do I know, right? You coach me. But again, you're seeing that this guy is lying on his first and second turn. And he's out of the game, so... Good job taking him out. Oh, what a beautiful... Now, my favorite thing to do probably is just play 1 at a time here. Unless you're really trying to implement some mind games to Jägermeister to the right of you. Maybe do 2-1-1 or something like that. Maybe that's what you're going to do. No, I wouldn't throw 2 again here. I would do 1-1. But it's honestly the safest bet. Just go 1-1-1-1. Go down the line. Throw them all down. It's 90% of the time you're more than likely going to win. Not a lot to say about that hand. Pretty easy going hand. But notice that Jaeger to the right of you, he's still throwing down multiple cards. Got to keep that in mind. He's not really worried about how you're playing. He's trying to mess with Sap over here, right? He's trying to make Sap make the mistakes. He's not worried about himself making the mistake. So you got 3 table cards. This is a good position to throw down 2 lies. You go with 2 truths, that's fine. But you see what I mean? He's not even worried about you. You got to recognize that. He's not even worried about what you're doing. He's not even giving you a thought. He's not even looking in your direction. So there's no reason to keep on telling the truth every single round against this player. That doesn't mean to lie every single time. See, now you're in a pretty bad position here. And Sap more than likely told the truth there, yeah. Let me see. What was your hand looking like? You had 3 table cards, and then you threw down the 2. No, okay. So, throwing down this 2 here, it's not a bad play. But it is because we know what he's doing, right? Like, oh, why is my thing frozen up here? Hold on, sorry. There was no reason to it. He hasn't called you out on throwing multiple cards at all this entire game. So, this 2 bait isn't doing anything. You're not tickling his fancy. You're not doing anything to get into his head. He's literally just ignoring you every time you play down 1 card, 2 cards. Does not matter. We haven't seen you do 3 yet, so who knows what he's going to do on a 3 play. But as far as you know, this guy's not calling you out on your 2 plays. So the best option against this guy right here, it was just slow play each card. Wait for someone else to burn themselves out. Or I think the best play at this point of the game would be play these 2. I think that was a little bit of a waste of a table card, basically. Because you got to remember, like, the most... I did a video on this, but the most important round in this game, for the most part, is round 4. And you having 3 table cards gets you to that 4th round. So what do I mean by that? Having those 3 table cards, you can place 1 down, 2 down, 3 down. And by then, most people have already thrown away all their table cards, leaving you in a position where you can either call somebody out on that 4th round, and if someone calls you out, the last card you just sent out was a table card. So it puts you in like a really powerful spot there. So if you have the chance to do that, and again, not to do it every time, sometimes it is good to play the 2, but in this position that we're at, like we talked about already, there's no reason to do that. Set yourself up for success. Do a lie, maybe 1 lie, do 2 lies, but there was no reason really to throw down the 2 table cards. There just really wasn't. When you make multiple cards, when you play multiple cards, do it for a reason. Have an idea of what you're going for, you know? And if your idea was to bait this guy out, you should have already noticed that he's not getting baited out by your multiple cards. How far? You're 1, 2, 3, 4. You're in like the 7th, 8th round already, and he has not fallen for the bait. So you got to stop doing it. But you're not playing a bad game by any means. You're playing a pretty safe game. You're making moves. You know what I mean. You're trying to go for the plays, but you're getting yourself stuck a lot, and you're not playing off of your opponents. So if there's one big thing I want you to take away from this, it's play off of your opponents and notice what they're doing. Don't just play your cards, like play off of your opponents, right? Or don't play off your cards, play off of your opponents as well. Sorry, I kind of missed that. You only had 1 table card to start here, I think. Let's go ahead and check that out. Yeah, you have 1 table card here. So I like the lie. That's good. Knowing that Jägermeister, by the way, has not called you out 1 time, I don't think. Honestly. So I like, usually, if you're in like a pretty tight game, lie, table card, call out. Okay? Or lie, table card, lie even. Not really. You don't want to do that. But lie, table card, call out. It's good. That's what you're probably doing right here. But knowing that Jaeger doesn't call you out, use the power of the 3rd round. So throw down a lie card. Throw down a lie card, and then throw down your truth card. Start doing that a little bit and see how that does for you. Save your last table card for that 3rd round. And if people are staying really late into the game, save it for the 4th round. If, say, like this player over here, what he was doing, how he was saving his cards for the 4th, 5th round, it would be perfect to lie, right? Or if you had 2 table cards, lie, table card, or you know, some kind of arrangement like that. But you got to recognize what your opponents are doing. So now you're stuck. This might not be a bad call out. It is. So, but you see how you got stuck there? I want to watch this. We're not going to pause this again here. I just want to watch this round out one more time. Yeah, so you have 1 table card. So again, If you let this survive into the third round, you would have been golden. I promise you that. So if you would have threw down a lie, won a round, threw down a lie, you would have been in the perfect position. Power of the fourth round is very real. Save, when in doubt, save that last card for the third round. Honestly, you're probably better off. I mean, it's all hindsight stuff now at this point. So I don't want to, you know, knowing what happens, I don't want to talk too much about it. Okay. Got an aces table. What do we got here? Everyone's taking at least 2 shots. I think we've taken 2 or 3. We've taken 3 so far. Oh, 4. Oh my god. So you're getting a little bit of a lucky game. I'm not gonna lie. By all rights, you probably should lose this one. But kudos for you if you do end up on top. So we're in the same position again. So again, let's do a lie table card. Start doing it. You're going to be putting yourself in such a better position when you have your 1 card plays here. And look, again, notice that the guy to the right of you doesn't give a shit about what you're doing. So you're okay to lie here. Nah, see, you told the truth. Look at that. He doesn't care. Gotta recognize that. Gotta recognize it. Now you're going to call this guy out again. You're in the same exact position as you were before. You just did the same thing twice. You did the same exact thing twice. You did not. So it's kind of like, what did you learn playing that last round? You got 1 table card. You lied. You played the table card. You called them out for a liar. Didn't work. Next round started. You got 1 table card. You lied. You threw your table card down. You called them out. It didn't work. See, you gotta. And I know. Again, this is hindsight. He very well could have gotten 1 card that round, and you made the call, and it worked out fine. I'm sure you've done this before, and it ends up working out for you. But to give yourself that extra little bit of edge, the reason why you sent in the video in the first place is to start recognizing a little bit more to the game, right? And in this case, it's just playing off of these players. Like, these guys, you know, yeah, we can pause the video and overanalyze it, so it's a little bit easier to understand, but you got to start training yourself mid-game to see what your opponents are doing. Don't let them get in your head. Don't get too caught up in the chat. You know, shut off your chat. Shut off your voice chat. Don't worry about the bottom left corner of your screen, and start understanding how these guys are playing and adapt to it, right? Because so far we're easily able to understand how the bunny played and how this guy plays. We haven't really been analyzing this guy too much, which we probably should. But based on how these guys both play, you should be in such a comfy position, and you're kind of just sticking to your own game plan, right? Which is fine. You know, I teach that like beginners. You know, you're always tell the true strat, all that stuff that I teach. That's like beginner stuff. You're sending these videos. We're going deeper than that, right? So start understanding what these guys are doing, because they had easy tells. It was very easy to understand and pick up on their game plans. Don't let that just go to the wayside. Gotta adjust. So we're definitely nearing the end here. Only about 2 minutes left, so let's see what happens. You, what a lucky game you've been playing. So why are we throwing down 2 aces though here? This entire game for over 12 minutes, we've been throwing down 2 aces and nothing has happened. More than likely, he's not going to call it out. Look at that. He doesn't call it out. Gotta recognize that. Gotta recognize that, man. Okay, we got to call out. I like this call out. Look at that. Okay, I like that call out. That little... You haven't called this guy out in the first round. It's the best time to do it when you never do it, right? The best time to call someone out right away is when you never call them out on the first round. Get them comfortable, make them think that we're all playing the long game, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, boom, you're a liar. But then again, hold on. What was your, yes, it was a good play and you got it, but what was your thought process here? You have 3 table cards. You threw down 2 at a time, so you only have 1 table card left. It's almost like you put yourself in a weird position. If you knew you were going to call him out his first round, why did you not throw down all 3? You haven't threw out all 3. That could have caught this guy off guard, because you haven't done that yet. He might be like, oh, this guy's getting comfortable. He's throwing down 3. Yeah, right. And throw down the lie hammer, right? So if you know you're calling this guy out first round, set out the bait. Throw down all 3 cards. then let it get to you, right? Don't make the decision last second. Try to plan out what you want to do for the round. So there's not really any good reason to do that. Throwing down the 2 wasn't going to do anything because you've been doing it all match. Jaeger hasn't cared. 3 could have mixed it up a little bit. And it doesn't matter that you have no more table cards left because in your head you know you're going to call out this guy. So it's kind of like, okay, here's my insurance policy for throw down 3. I throw down 3, he calls me out, we're good for the round. I throw down 3, it moves on to him. That's okay because I'm going to call him out. Oh, we got it right, we're good for the round. So set yourself up for multiple ways of success throughout a match as well. It was kind of like a little bit of randomness happening there. Now we're at 3 out of 6, 2 out of 6, and we are at 5 out of 6 on our on Eren here. Going on to a queen stable. Okay, so you got 3 table cards. So here, this is what I would do now in this position, right? I'd throw down all 3. I would throw down 2 lies. I think that's my number 1 play right now is I'm throwing down this king and the ace because I know this guy's not calling me out, right? Honestly, that's the only play to make in my head right now. I'm sure you're going to throw down 2 or 3. Or you're probably going to throw down 2, right? Yeah, you've been doing it the entire time. You really want him to call... He won't call you out, dude. You got to at one point realize this. And you're putting yourself in the same position over and over and over again. Finally, Sap calls out Jaeger. But hopefully you've seen how many times you could have actually gotten away with lying and didn't. In a logical way, too, right? It's not like in hindsight, like, oh, wow, I should have just lied there. He didn't call me out. Like, no, there is like a method to the madness, right? We know Jaeger's not calling us out, so let's start lying, right? So we're in a heads-up game, and you have 1 life left, and you only have 1 table card. This is an insane position. Now, knowing that there's only 8 table cards, you could be pretty sure that he's got a couple. He either has 2 or 3 more than likely. So honestly, man, your best bet is either to call this 2 or call the 3. So call the 2 right away, or throw down the Joker and then call it the 3. Since we haven't been super trigger happy this match, I probably personally would call out this 2, just because of the pace of the game and how things have went. But the safest option is to throw down your table card and call out the 3, because it's always less likely for them to have 3 than 2. So when in doubt, call out the 3. In this position, though, I would call out the 2. Okay, you do. What do you get? Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Hopefully you understood that's why you did it. If you just guessed, that's okay too. I mean, it is just like a 50-50 shot basically, right? Wow. And I'm not going to lie, you, my friend, got pretty lucky this game to win that. I mean, surviving to your last shot. You didn't play bad. I don't think you played bad by any stretch of the imagination. Sorry, I can't even talk right now. But I don't know. Hopefully you learned a little something from that, from watching back your game, from me talking about your game, getting an extra opinion on it. The main takeaway is just play off your opponents. You know, you saw how they were playing, and you didn't adjust to them. You probably weren't paying attention in the match, or you kind of knew how to adjust to them. But hopefully now that I've pointed it out, you kind of saw a different side of this game. And also for everyone else watching, let me know if this is helping you guys out. Let me know if you want me to grab more examples. I don't know how well I am at explaining or coaching, whatever you want to call it. So any feedback on that end would be super helpful for me. Eren, hope that helped out. I think I have some more matches from you, so I will be looking over those in the future. But to start off our little new series here on this, whatever you want to call it, coaching series, whatever, I hope this helped everybody out. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.